All right. Konami is remaking Snake Eater because younger gamers don't know about Metal Gear Solid anymore. I knew about Metal Gear Solid when I was a kid. I just didn't have a PlayStation to play one. I remember in the arcades, they'd have consoles growing up back home in Nigeria, and they had the PlayStations there. And, they'll play Metal Gear. I didn't touch that game for, many, many years, even though I knew about it. But, I played in the arcades games that made sense for my money. I played, my soccer games, and I'll play some fighting games. That's how I came up. But to think that the younger generation have no idea nor any clue why there's a game called Metal Gear and Konami saying they're going to make a remake is kind of interesting, because we all know that Konami literally took the gun and put their foot up on top of a platform and pointed this said gun to their foot and then removed the safety, ensured that it was loaded, and pulled the trigger when they fired Hideo Kojima. This has got to be the biggest, most interesting thing I've ever seen, with mismanagement all across the board. Now, granted, Kojima's expensive, but when you look at Kojima's record in terms of the kinds of games he puts out and in terms of the cost and all of the above, I don't see how they would have taken this approach at the end of the day. They said Konami is remaking Snake Eater because younger gamers don't know about Metal Gear Solid anymore. No, you're making Snake Eater because you want to hedge your sales with nostalgia from other gamers that are in the ecosystem. Yes, I will be looking into this game, probably getting me a copy, even though I hope to beat it because backlog is insane. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is an ambitious remake of the legendary stealth action title released on PlayStation 2 in 2004. Wow, 2 decades be gone just like that, guys. Goodness, how many of you remember '04? My gosh. Good. If you don't remember '04 and you watch these videos, man, shout out to you. I don't know how you found this channel, but my goodness. It has been in development at Konami for some time, and amongst ongoing content drops, including screenshots and teaser trailers, it was revealed that it will be released in 2025. Insider Today said blah, 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 blah. In recent interviews, MGS series producer Noriaki Okamura revealed one of the driving reasons why Konami resolved to make one of the most iconic games in the series. It was basically our duty. In the most recent iteration of Play Magazine, circulated by Games Radar, Noriaki Okamura sat down to talk about things Metal Gear Solid. One of the things that really sparked us to do the remake in general is because we realized that a lot of newer, younger generation of gamers aren't familiar with Metal Gear series anymore. Please, come on now. From Software would probably be a way to go in terms of just innovating regardless when you have your fundamentals down. I think Konami as a publisher kind of, in a sense, forgot about what fundies actually mean when it comes to actually making a solid video game in a sense. Remember, they made Metal Gear Survive, that really interesting dumpster fire that happened back then. So them saying this is actually quite funny because Metal Gear Survive, what it was called, right? I mean, do you all remember it? Oh, yeah. Oh, the game that nobody wants to speak about. The game literally died 1,000 deaths and nobody is even talking about the game anymore. And so they looked and said, man, we can't come in here with the milky of these live service games. So perhaps what we will probably be better off doing is ensuring that we find another way to hedge our investment in our single player games. Now, I'm not naive to know that it's very risky making a new IP. These particular publishers have not really helped themselves because many of them, they looked aside. They were going and chasing these trends. PlayStation was making expensive games, and everybody thought they'd make expensive games too. You're not PlayStation. You don't have that kind of investor money. So everyone's got to go ahead and figure out in a way how things go. So what they did was it pretty much took a lot of, Kojima's mechanics and decided that they were going to try to make money off of it, not knowing that the gaming community they've already lost every goodwill with the gaming community, not even letting the gentleman go to the Game Awards that year. Do you all remember that? Oh, yeah, it was a huge, interesting, scenario and situation. So in order for us to now start seeing this is just very uncanny. Anyways, I'm glad that they come to their senses. They're going to make a game that is more than likely going to be played much more than Metal Gear Survive. If they do a good job, they will be rewarded for the efforts. Hopefully, though, they are able to make a good product and the game doesn't get cannibalized by the entirety of gaming today. When I say the entirety of gaming today, this is probably from the AAA perspective, one of the worst times for AAA games. Many people have not, I don't think many have actually said it in this particular paradigm that I'm actually putting it as. Because, again, everyone has a different, I don't know, how do you put it? They have a different ideology as to exactly what's causing the gaming industry to do A, B, C, D, and E. But I feel like I'm probably maybe one of the few that I know of. I mean, I guess I might be in my own little bubble. I need to maybe step outside a little bit and touch grass. But I'm probably I'm the only one that I've seen actually bring this particular, chart to light. Maybe I've seen somebody else. It's not crossed my memory. But this chart continues to amaze me. And I wish we could keep a daily tracker on the darn thing. We bookmark this sucker over here. And we can pretty much be aware as to what in the world is going on. It's wild, ladies and gentlemen. There are already, right now, 16,000 games this year. So 20 years ago, let's say this is 20. They don't even have data from 2004. But 2006, there were only 71 games on Steam all year. Did Steam even start in? When was Steam even started? Let's see. 03. Okay, so there should be data. I guess they just don't they probably just don't have the data. But all year in 2006, 2 years after Metal Gear, that game released, there were only 71 games that launched on Steam. Now that number is approaching 17,000 in 1 year. By 2025, the plethora of video games, I mean, think about all the games that started cooking around 2020. And they're just going to come, and maybe they've gotten delayed. And think about the delays that are going to all dump in 2025. For those who may be thinking that somewhere, somehow, PlayStation has a chance in this market without innovation, or thinking that Xbox did not necessarily need to innovate, or thinking that Nintendo is somehow immune because of their business strategy, the squeeze is about to actually happen. Like, everyone will be proven and tested in this particular market. So good on them that they've decided that they're going to do some fan service. It'll be interesting. It was basically our mission, they said, our duty to kind of continue making sure that the series lives on for future generations. After all, we leave behind much more than just DNA, as Solid Snake would say, but again, who is Solid Snake? In the 2000s, Metal Gear Solid 3 became one of my most beloved games, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Let them make the game. Hopefully it's a good, solid title, and, we get to enjoy it. Hideo Kojima is still, in his own right, one of the legends in the industry. As much as his games are now like, huh? What the heck? It's still, needless to say, there was a lot of innovation in that time. You could just tell that there was a lot of love for the art in doing video games with technology that's even a lot less than what can be achieved right now by people in their living room. I mean, look at the Power World developers who were saving their files on USB drives. They didn't even have a repo when they first started. That's different, But thankfully, they have the tools, they have the innovation, they have the creativity to even draw Nintendo's attention and make Nintendo look kind of weak, which is my next video anyway. We'll talk about a little bit of some of the Nintendo details from Florian, who is the copyright expert guy that was talking about stuff like this during the Activision time. Okay, talk to me in the comment section. I'll get out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.